Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of 2 Samuel, the 17th chapter. As we went through in the 16th chapter, we saw the reproach by Shimei the Benjamite against King David, and also the heinous advice that Absalom followed at the mouth of Ahithophel to sleep or lay with the concubines of David publicly in order to show that he was truly against his father and to strengthen the hands of his supporters. So here we are in 2 Samuel 17 and 1. Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I will raise and pursue, or I will arise and pursue after David this night. So this very night, I'm going to go get him. And I will come upon him while he is weary and weak, or weak-handed, and I will make him afraid. And all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king wholly. So by coming upon them at this night when they're not expecting it, they're tired, they're weary, I'm going to basically cause all his defenses to abandon him, and I can kill him. And I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou seekest is as if all returned. Meaning, what that means is I'll be able to bring them all back to you, because by taking David out, it's the equivalent of returning all of them back. Because now with their head gone, they will basically have no other option but to come back. So all the people shall be in peace. See, we don't need to take them all out. I'll just go in and basically take out David. And then that's it. That would be the end of that. And the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. Then said Absalom, Call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he saith. And when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel hath spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak thou. So what do you think about Ahithophel's counsel? Make sense? And if you disagree, tell me why. What's going on? What do you think? And Hushai said unto Absalom, The counsel that Ahithophel hath given is not good at this time. For, said Hushai, thou knowest thy father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be chafed in their minds, as a bear robbed of her whelps in the field. So, number one, they're not pushovers. These are mighty men, right? Men of valor. And they're chafed, meaning they're like stressed and enraged. They're like a mother bear that's lost her cubs. And that makes them very dangerous. And thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. Meaning David is not. He didn't just pick up a sword yesterday. He's an experienced man of war. He's been in this thing since he was a youth, right? He was young, and so he knows. And he's not going to be dwelling with the rest of his people. It's like a war tactic. He knows if somebody's after him, that the sensible thing wouldn't be to dwell amongst the rest of them. So behold, he is hid now in some pit or in some other place. And it will come to pass, when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever heareth it will say, There is a slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. Meaning, you go there and they lay an ambush for you and they slay some of your men, that's immediately going to send fear throughout the rest of your men that are around. And he also that is valiant, whose heart is as the lion, or the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knoweth that thy father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are valiant men. So by hearing that, they're going to start to be afraid, because they're going to realize they're going up against mighty men, and so it doesn't matter how bold your men are, they're going to basically melt. They're going to become weak. So this isn't a good idea to go with this plan. Therefore, I counsel that all Israel be generally gathered unto thee, from Dan even to Beersheba, as the sand that is by the sea, for multitude. So Instead, why don't you gather up basically all the armies of Israel, a huge army, and that thou go to battle in thine own person, and you lead them to the battle. So shall we come upon him in some place where he shall be found, and we will light upon him as the dew falleth on the ground. So with that, we can have an army, and we can find out wherever he is, and basically fall upon him like he won't be able to escape. And of him and of all the men that are with him, there shall not be left so much as one. Moreover, if he be gotten into a city, so if he's hiding in a city, then shall all Israel bring ropes to that city, and we will draw it into the river until there be not one small stone found there, right? Meaning, because we're going to have the numbers at that point, and regardless of what city he is in, we will basically pull those walls down. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, Ah, the counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel. For the Lord hath appointed to defeat the good counsel. Now, the Lord had it to where, as it's about to expound on, Hushai's counsel was more accepted than that of Ahithophel. So as it says, for the Lord Yahweh had appointed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent the Lord might bring evil upon Absalom. So the Lord had it to where they preferred Hushai's counsel above Ahithophel's. However, given the situation, Ahithophel's counsel would have actually been the more effective one. But the Lord had them not listen to that because he wanted to seek an occasion to both deliver David, but to also bring evil upon Absalom. Then said Hushai unto Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, Thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled. Now therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, Lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him. So go, you can't stay there, you got to go now. Now Jonathan and Ahimaaz stayed by Enrogel, for they might not be seen to come into the city. So, in order to effectively keep themselves from being revealed, they stayed at a distance, right, in Enrogel, so they wouldn't have to come in and out of the city of Jerusalem and be caught. And a wench, meaning like a maid woman or like a slave girl, went and told them, and they went and told David. Nevertheless, a lad saw them, a boy, and told Absalom, that little snitch. But they went both of them away quickly, and came to a man's house in Bahurim, which had a well in his court, whither they went down. So they fled, came to his man, he had a well, he let them go down into the well and hide. And the woman took and spread a covering over the well's mouth, and spread corn, ground corn thereon, and the thing was not known. So nobody knew they were hiding there, because she covered it up and put corn and stuff over it, so it looked, you wouldn't suspect that there was anybody over there. And when Absalom's servants came to the woman to the house, they said, Where is Ahimaaz and Jonathan? And the woman said unto them, They be gone over the brook of water. And when they had sought and could not find them, they returned to Jerusalem, which was smarter, right? It was smarter than to say, oh, I don't know where they went, or I don't know who you're talking about, because clearly if they came to your house, then they must have got word by somebody or some neighbors that Jonathan and Ahimaaz came to your house. So if you're now telling them, oh, you don't know if anybody came here, then, they're going to be more suspicious to think that, okay, you're colluding with them. But rather by cooperating, even though you're giving them false information, that was basically a wiser thing for her to do in that time. And it came to pass after they were departed that they came up out of the well. So when the guards left, the two sons came up and went and told King David, and said unto David, Arise and pass quickly over the water, for thus hath Ahithophel counseled against you. Then David arose, and all the people that were with him, and they passed over Jordan. By the morning light, there lacked not one of them that was not gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and arose and gat him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order, and hanged himself and died. So he made sure everything was right, everything was set up, and then he went and basically took himself out and was buried in the sepulchre of his father. Then David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And maybe, concerning Ahithophel, you probably thought, well, he definitely can't go back to David now. And now Absalom has basically replaced him with Hushai. So what purpose does he have left? They might come for him sooner or later. So shit, just a speculation. Then David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was a man's son, so he replaced Joab with Amasa in terms of that position. And Amasa was a man's son whose name was Ithra, an Israelite, that went in to Abigail, the daughter of Nahash, sister to Zeruiah, Joab's mother. Now, here, a bit to unpack, right? So Asahel's father is Ithra, his mother is Abigail. Abigail's the sister of Zeruiah. Zeruiah is the sister of David. So at this point, that means Abigail and Zeruiah are sisters of David. And being that Abigail, David's sister's son, is Amasa, that means Amasa was David's nephew, just like Joab was also David's nephew. It also means Amasa was Joab's cousin. Now, dealing with Nahash, right? Because it says here that Abigail, the sister of David, her father was Nahash, right? As it says, daughter of Nahash. So let me also see if I can pull up. I wonder if it's worded differently yeah, it doesn't word it any other differently. So now when I dug into this a bit, and there were basically like two sort of speculatory answers here. One being that Nahash might have been another name for Jesse, because we know that Zeruiah, being David's sister, David's father was Jesse, right? And the other, which some scholars also say, is that Zeruiah and Abigail might have been half sisters of David, i.e., their mother must have could have remarried Jesse, right? Upon which they had David, meaning that their first father, or their mother's first husband, would have been Nahash, and then she ends up remarrying Jesse, which still makes them related to David. Now, these are just speculations. It doesn't really clarify much in this verse, but I think the more important thing to take from here is that Amasa was related to Joab. He was related to David. He was David's nephew and Joab's cousin. Verse 26, so Israel and Absalom pitched in the land of Gilead. And it came to pass, when David was come to Mahanaim, that Shobai, the son of Nahash of Rabbah, of the children of Ammon, and Machir, the son of Amiel of Lodabar, and Barzillai, the Gileadite of Rogelim, brought beds and basins and earthen vessels and wheat and barley and flour and parched corn and beans and lentils and parched pulse and honey and butter and sheep and kine of cheese for David and for the people that were with him to eat. For they said, the people is hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. And it also goes to show you the Lord's mercy, right? Because he put the spirit on them to do these, to bring this large, provision, right, to help sustain David and his those that were with him as they were in the wilderness. And that brings us to the end of 2 Samuel, the 17th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodesh. Until next time, Shalom.